A very important document that must always be on board the aircraft during each flight is the Aircraft Flight Manual, or AFM. The Aircraft Flight Manual is a document containing the information and the instruction required to operate the aircraft safely. This document is typically approved by the competent authority, and it contains a technical description of the aircraft, where you can find among other things, the wingspan, the wing surface area, the fuselage length, the elevator surface area, the type of brakes, and much more. Then we have the procedures for normal operations, abnormal situations, and emergencies. For example, if you were to experience an engine failure in flight, you would find the procedure to deal with that emergency in the AFM. Obviously, going through the AFM during an emergency would be a little bit time consuming, and that is why pilots have a checklist for abnormal situation and emergencies that is an extract of the AFM. I will talk more about this checklist in one of my next videos, so stay tuned for that. Next, we have maximum and minimum speed limitations. These are also specified in the AFM and are crucial to operate the aircraft safely. Among the many airspeed limitations, you will find typically the VNE, the never exceed speed, the VA, the maneuvering speed, the VS0 and VS1, the stall speed or minimum flight speed to avoid a stall in a landing configuration or in a cruise configuration, and many others that you need to keep in mind when you fly the aircraft. Something else that you will also find inside of the AFM is the layout of the aircraft systems. For example, the Sonaca S201 that I use to train has a very modern instrument panel, and inside its AFM you can see not only the cockpit layout but also what the instrument panel features. For example, the primary flight display in this particular aircraft is a Garmin G500TX, which is a great piece of equipment. Last but not least, we have all sorts of limitations. I already mentioned the speed limitations. Well, in the AFM you will also find engine limitations like the maximum RPM of the engine, the minimum oil temperature, or the maximum oil pressure, just to name a few. Then we have mass and balance limits, for example, the maximum weight permitted for takeoff and landing, the maximum weight in any compartment, and the effect on the center of gravity. And last but not least, among the limitations specified in the AFM, you will also find the G-load limitations, the maximum level of constant force that can be applied to the aircraft in various maneuvers. All this information and all these instructions are crucial to operate the aircraft safely. So if you are training to be a pilot, I highly suggest you read the AFM of your aircraft at least once. To see what other documents should be on board the aircraft all the time, make sure to subscribe.